we all know TF2 might not be in the best place right now, but I have a plan that if Valve want to take it and use it, I think it would breathe a lot of life back into TF2 and also the community and make everyone feel just a little bit more positive about the game and the state it's in now. So today, I'm going to go through my genius plan to make TF2 great again. Now, do I think anyone from Valve is going to see this video?
No.
Probably not. Am I going to make this video anyway and hope for the best? Yes, absolutely. And thinking about this kind of stuff is fun for me, so no matter what happens, I've enjoyed myself making this. The first problem and the main problem is obviously the bots. I know nothing about fixing bots. I don't know how much the people in the community know either, who say it will be an easy fix and Valve just needs to write 3 lines of code or something like that. But I do know that there is so much misinformation out there right now about the bots in general, with so many YouTubers and streamers, including myself, saying so many different things that nobody really knows what to believe. So the community kind of becomes an echo chamber of different theories for different people that might not even be true. So I think we just need to kind of let Valve deal with it if they ever will. And if not, community servers do exist. Try those out for a bit. Don't let the bots win. Yes, they're annoying. Yes, I hate them as well. But right now, it doesn't seem like they're going anywhere. So, you know, we need to kind of deal with it. Now, the second problem is Valve's major lack of communication skills. Now, Valve, don't worry. I was an awkward teenager once too, and I didn't like talking to people. But I, personally, would be happy to take over the TF2 Twitter account and use it to talk to the community about the things they want, ideas they have, and just all kinds of stuff like that. I mean, obviously, it doesn't need to just be me. Like, if you want to actually get, like, somebody to just sit on the TF2 Twitter, that would also work. I just think the TF2 community would be stupidly happy to feel heard by the development team, even if they are just sharing what they would like to see. You could also use this Twitter account if you want to share stuff you're working on that isn't in the game yet, or will be added, to start getting the community hyped up about something and giving them something to just look forward to. That kind of stuff would make an insane difference to people, and it would mean a lot to them. My main idea with the Twitter would be to do community polls about the current controversial weapons, and then with that info, make a weekly or even monthly balance change update where you only mess with a couple of weapons. Then, if that works, you keep them and move on to something else, or you can go and adjust the weapon again until it gets to a good point. You could also, if you wanted to, trial turning off something like random crits for 2 weeks and seeing how that affects people's opinions on that whole situation. Now, it doesn't obviously have to be like huge controversial topics like random crits and, you know, something like the flog, but just any weapon in the game or any kind of feature in the game that could do with a change it for a few weeks, see how it goes, see what the community say, and then go from there. That way you're not tackling a huge major update that people might not like. You're working with the community to make the changes that they want to see. Moving on, competitive matchmaking didn't really go down as well as we had all hoped. So if Valve don't really want to spend the time fixing that comp matchmaking and go through the amount of effort that would take, why not just throw money at people who have been doing it since before Meet Your Match and who really know what they're doing and have run tournaments for ages? That way, Valve have their name on an event that would go really, really well and be a really good thing for the TF2 competitive community. More eyes would be on it, and it would make people more interested in competitive, and if they saw Valve was making an effort with it, they'd have more faith in a future with TF2. Now, admittedly, I don't know a lot about competitive, and I've not been a huge part of the competitive scene ever. But there's a stupid amount of people in the community who do know things about competitive and would easily be able to help run a tournament if somebody threw a couple of grand at them to host a prize pool with. So I've been trying to do this whole video based on what I think would be easy for Valve to do. That wouldn't be a stupid amount of work. So I know a lot of people are waiting on a major update, but what if instead we just had smaller updates but more often? The Powerhouse Timer being a really good example of this, as it was a really small update. It was literally the only thing in the update, but it was something that a lot of people were asking for. Obviously not exactly what we wanted like right now with the bot still being a thing, but I think it was very much needed. Now, that still might not be perfect. I haven't had a huge amount of time to just play on Powerhouse and see, but I like the idea of having a bunch of smaller updates alongside maybe all of these other balance change stuff I talked about before, and with the seasonal updates that, you know, we already get every year. Making the tiniest change to TF2 would still mean a lot to most of the community, because it shows that Valve haven't given up on us. And a lot of people right now are feeling very abandoned by Valve. Another idea I had would be to add a workshop map or something into the rotation for a week or two and give players some variety in their map pools. And then once the 2 weeks is up, you just take them out again. Unless people, really like them, then keep them in, because then they've got something else to play all the time to keep the game fresh. You don't need big seasonal updates for this stuff, just randomly do it, people would go crazy for that. Maybe use some of the cosmetics in the workshop as well as rewards for playing casual, or do new contracts involving these new maps when they come into the game for a little bit. Like limited time contracts that you don't have to pay for, but you can win some pretty decent, non-tradable probably, cosmetics. Little things like that aren't exactly huge will make a big difference to people, I think, and reward the community for grinding out casual games. Which again is another issue that people bring up a lot. And I don't know why I left this one to the last point, because it's probably one of the most important ones, but a lot of people talk about switching TF2 to a new engine. But I feel as though all we need really are some optimization changes so people who don't have the best hardware out there can still run the game at a good frame rate without having to play some weird version of TF2 that looks like it's more Minecraft. Not that there's anything wrong with Minecraft, but you want to play TF2, not like a blocky version of TF2. Now, I'm lucky that the system I have is powerful, and even then, sometimes, rarely, it might struggle. So some changes to improve FPS definitely wouldn't go amiss, and I think actually the community would really, really appreciate it. So there we have it. There are some of my plans that TF2 or Valve could use to hopefully breathe new light into this game and to give the community a bit of hope. We all love this game. We all want it to succeed. We don't want to see it just die. So, some even small changes people would really appreciate. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure you leave this video a like and also subscribe to the channel if you're new. It would mean a lot to me. And I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.